Distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Akash Samar.
I am Jassi Marik with sport.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your weather report.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. After 3 guns go missing from the Central Police Station, 7 officers are arrested as investigators probe the disappearance.
Farmers question the need for 30 new police posts, saying existing units aren't stopping the theft of livestock.
PSA President Felicia Thomas leads WASA workers in protest action against management after negotiations break down.
Ahead in sport.
There is no justification for it, and while I'm at it, I think there is a need for corporate Trinidad and Tobago to get involved.
Chief Secretary Augustine continues to push back against the SSFL's exclusion of Tobago schools.
Weather conditions are quiet now as Saharan dust takes over, but don't get comfortable. Change is on the way in the forecast.
7 police officers are under arrest as investigators probe the disappearance of 3 firearms and ammunition from the Central Police Station in Port of Spain.
Senior police officials confirmed the officers from varying ranks were on duty during the shift when the weapons went missing. The missing items include 3 Glock pistols, 3 magazines, and 45 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Police said the firearms were lodged for safekeeping by Port of Spain municipal police officers shortly before 3 p.m. on Monday. But during a firearms check around 3:40 the following morning, officers discovered the weapons and ammunition were missing. An investigation was launched immediately. The 7 officers were still being questioned up to news time, and no charges have yet been laid. The incident comes nearly 4 months after a major security breach at the San Fernando Municipal Police Station, where an armory was found emptied of firearms and ammunition. Following that heist, municipal police officers were instructed to lodge their weapons at police stations under stricter accountability measures. As the debate over the government's new police posts continues, the TTPS is promising they will mean more than just a place for people to make reports.
TTPS Media Ambassador Inspector Kurt Callender said officers will be out in the community, keeping an eye on what's happening and engaging with residents. The aim, he said, is a more hands-on approach to policing and ultimately faster response times.
We are engaging the members of the public by going to them. Right. So there is a possibility that before they may even be required to make a report, we would have already engaged them, find out what their concerns are, and nip it in the bud, as we see in local parlance. So the officers would not just be sitting in a post hoping and waiting that somebody comes to make a report. We would be engaging the members of the public.
But while the TTPS is talking about building trust in communities, it's also dealing with questions about trust within its own ranks. Responding to the detention of police officers in connection with the disappearance of firearms and ammunition from the Central Police Station, Callender said the service is working to remove corrupt officers.
The TTPS, through the Commissioner of Police, has taken a stance that the organization is willing to do everything that is lawfully required to rid the police service of rogue police officers. And I'm not speaking specifically to this situation. I am speaking about generally.
Callender says the Professional Standards Bureau and other internal arms of the TTPS are responsible for investigating police misconduct. And the Chief Secretary Fali Augustine says the Tobago House of Assembly has 0 objections to police posts on the island. Augustine told the media police posts are not new to the island. He noted joint police and army patrols have been a successful crime-fighting strategy in Tobago in the past. And the Chief Secretary believes the public would welcome the posts as an increased police presence makes people feel safer.
In 2024, when we had our highest levels of murders, part of that strategy included joint patrols and included police posts in places where none exist. People perhaps don't even realize that at this very moment, a police post was established at the community center in Golden Lane. Remember, we had all those issues where it's Christmas and people being torched in fire and attempted murders and so on in Golden Lane. We set up a police post in the community.
Augustine said a post is also being established near the Gibson Jetty to accommodate Coast Guard and police officers patrolling the marine park. He added that the THA will liaise with the Ministry of Homeland Security to discuss the best location for the new post.
Last week, Head of Tobago Police Rodell Kirk welcomed a police post on the island, noting that Plymouth may be the ideal location for its placement. He, however, indicated that public consultation would take place before any decision is made. Rural Development Minister Khadija Amin is hoping that opposition to the new police post at the Etihad grounds will now be put to rest. Amin says constituents have since reached out in support of the post following the standoff with the chairman of the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation, Josiah Austin, who opposed the construction. She says the need for a police presence is clear, given crime reported in that area. The minister says Austin's initial concern was a lack of consultation, followed by NGC gas lines, which she says have since been addressed.
I think the NGC was able to put that to rest by indicating that those gas lines are not active. And I think he's still going on. I'm not sure what he's saying now, but it seems as though I think he has run his course. I think he should just let it die a natural death now. I hope he's not planning to use state funds to sue the state to prevent people from having a police post.
While responding to the minister, Austin says the issue is not about the establishment of the police post, but how the government has gone about the project. He says the wider issue is good governance, arguing that government projects must respect local government responsibilities, stakeholders, and involve proper consultation. But while there is support for more police presence, one farmer's representative says a police post is only as good as the officers and resources behind it. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Farmers Union, Shiraz Khan, says the new police post could work, but only if officers have the tools and resources to act. Khan has long raised concerns about larceny in the Felicity area, and he says that problem has continued despite there already being a police post in the community.
Now, if it is that the guys and them there do not have the necessary resources to carry out their exercise properly, right? Is it that these police posts is just about somebody getting a contract to build a building? Is it that we have the necessary resources, or we just going to set up something thinking that the bandits and them go get scared and run away? Is it that we're going to have something very efficient, working with the community rather than being antagonistic towards the community? Is it that these police posts in the area is to stop any protests or anything that happened before it reached the Port of Spain?
WASA workers are protesting outside the Public Education Center, demanding progress on new salaries, back pay, and other costs tied to their terms of conditions of employment. PSA President Felicia Thomas says the union called management back to the negotiating table today, but was told no action had been taken on the cost proposal submitted since January. Thomas says the Director of Human Resources has not even prepared a note for the Human Resource Advisory Committee to move the proposals to the board and then the Ministry of Finance. Now she's saying workers have been told that management is no longer business as usual, and they will remain at the sports club until the process moves forward. Thomas is also warning that time is running out.
Of course, let me say, because the Minister of Finance made a statement that was very clear. He said that all negotiations settled between mid-year review and budget will be taken care of in the budget. If those negotiations are not signed off, it will not be catered for in the budget, and it will be yet another year workers without their increase in salary. So the management cannot be playing games with the workers. They need to do what they need to do to move things along. These negotiations, these submissions were made since January.
Well, we reached out to WASA for a response. We were told negotiations were still underway and the company would not be able to comment until that's concluded.
Still to come in the news, Defense Minister confirms fireworks are back for Independence Day, and this year's show will feature a mix of drones, loud and noiseless fireworks.
Chief Secretary reveals new Tobago Airport to open in time to welcome visitors for the island's annual revelry.
Coming up in sport, the CPL rolls into St. Lucia, but the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots ruin the Kings' homecoming.
We finally said yes to onion rings. Now it's your turn to say yes to the new KFC onion ring chicken sandwich for $34.95, or get a regular side of rings for just $15. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Welcome to a new era of driving in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me introduce to you Omoda and Jaco, two global automotive brands, redefining style, technology, and performance. This is just the beginning.
Police are reviewing CCTV footage as they investigate the brazen killing of a 30-year-old mother outside her Sangre Grande home this morning.
Police said Chanel Lewis was leaving her Brooklyn Road home shortly after 8 a.m. when a gunman ambushed her and shot her in the forehead and abdomen. Residents reported hearing two loud explosions before seeing a white Nissan March speeding away. Officers and members of the task force responded to reports of the shooting around 8:30 a.m. and found Lewis bleeding on the roadway. She later died at hospital. Relatives described Lewis as a mother of one, bright, intelligent, ambitious, and friendly. Her death has left residents shocked and searching for answers as to why she was targeted. In other news, fireworks will return to the Queen's Park Savannah for this year's Independence Day celebrations, with the government planning a combination of traditional and low-noise fireworks alongside a drone and cultural show.
Defense Minister Wayne Sturge confirmed to CNC3 News that a fireworks display will form part of this year's Independence Day celebrations on August 31st. Asked whether the display would feature traditional fireworks or silent or low-noise alternatives, Sturge said there would be a mixture of both and a drone show. Culture Minister Michelle Benjamin said the procurement process to select a fireworks provider is still ongoing. The minister said there will be live entertainment featuring everything that is Trinidad and Tobago. Benjamin added that government is seeking to bring back the traditional family atmosphere surrounding Independence Day celebrations.
We did take into consideration doing the cultural show, and we wanted cater with regards to having a kids zone as well, because to bring back that picnic. Because what I remember, I know you would have partaken the festivities before. Children and persons come in from all around 5, 4, and they stake out just to make sure they get a good position to see the fireworks. So while we have that crowd, we want to make sure we cater for them.
However, the decision to include high-noise fireworks is already being questioned by citizens against noise pollution, particularly given the Savannah's proximity to noise-sensitive facilities.
The Queen's Park Savannah does not exist in isolation. The Port of Spain General Hospital has not moved. The Emperor Valley Zoo has not moved. The surrounding communities have not moved, and neither have the people and animals affected by explosive noises. So CANPAT has never called for an end to celebrations. We are asking that we celebrate differently and responsibly.
Meanwhile, officials at the Emperor Valley Zoo were contacted for comment, and CNC3 News was told that a response to this development will come soon.
Poultry farmers are warning of a possible egg shortage ahead of Christmas, and they want government to act now. The call tonight is for a government hatchery to produce fertilized eggs and quality chicks locally. Vijay Bhagwat of St. Mary's Hatchery says the shortage of quality fertilized eggs is limiting chicken and poultry production. He says some hatcheries are reporting losses of up to 35% during incubation because of poor quality eggs. Ren Gopi Singh of Sophie and Liam's egg farm in Barrackpore says increasing the number of laying birds is also critical to boost egg production in the coming months. Gopi Singh says a government hatchery could help reduce the risks associated with imported chicks.
I believe if we have good quality local fertilized eggs and a government hatchery that will supply farmers, we will not run off of eggs, chicks or poultry meat.
But Agriculture Minister Ravi Rathiram says the government is already pursuing a public-private partnership to establish a large-scale poultry breeding and hatchery facility. He says the facility would produce fertilized eggs, breeder stock and day-old chicks for both the broiler and layer industries.
Meanwhile, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Farmers Union, Shiraz Khan, he believes the country's reliance on imported chickens has helped create the current shortage. Khan's comment comes a day after CNC3 News reported that chicken prices have soared as local production has been cut by 20% amid searing heat. While the agriculture minister says the situation will normalize in the coming weeks, Khan is adamant this could have been avoided if this country reduced its reliance on imports.
We have the chickens, which is a problem for us because we did breed the chickens before and have our own eggs and hatch it way then, but that has no longer been our issue. We are importing all the eggs and the birds. We have lost a sort of importance of what the industry means to us because we want to continue to look at more importation rather than development of our sector, where other countries within the Caribbean are doing that for themselves.
And he's warning this may not be the last time consumers feel the pinch. Khan says a shortage could repeat itself in the coming months and years.
For tonight's People Say, we asked, are you concerned about a possible chicken shortage and rise in chicken prices?
Here's what some of you had to say.
You know, considering that's only, I'm only 22 years of age, it's not really much of an issue to me. It might be an issue to my parents. Chicken shortage and a raise in price, kind of crazy for the economy. Realistically, it might be a problem, probably will be a problem to everybody that really into that.
I find this is so ridiculous. The place is done hard already where food is concerned. I wish they could, bring it to a level that people could afford these things. It's food, we need it, right? So I don't know what it is going to happen, but at the same time, I think better could be done.
I'm concerned because I know a lot of people, we have a lot of poor people in this country. Sometimes we go and get a piece of chicken to get to cook quick.
Yes, I'm concerned about the increase in chicken prices as well as the shortage because most people use that to cook a meal, to prepare something for their family and household. So yeah, the price is extremely high and the shortage, they need to increase on that.
I think they're going to stem off from buyers and sellers and then to the citizens that's just going to have to pay the extra cost with.
I'm not really concerned because I don't really eat chicken, but I know the prices will be raising and it might be a little concern, but I don't really 100% concerned.
Chief Secretary Farley Augustine says the new airport terminal in Tobago will open before October.
Speaking to the media on Wednesday, Augustine said the facility will be ready to welcome visitors for the island's annual carnival. He added Tobagonians will be proud of the build-out of the terminal, which is expected to reflect the island's culture and history. Augustine said the Tobago House of Assembly is awaiting a directive from Cabinet for the official opening. He reiterated that a flight simulation and commissioning will be held 1 week before the terminal becomes fully operational.
We have completed the first phase of work on the inside of the terminal, and we are starting the second phase. The second phase set of works, that those works can actually happen while the terminal is operational. So I believe we have everything we need now to go operational.
Augustine said there are a few administrative procedures to be completed to facilitate duty-free access and other operations related to customs.
Political scientists are tonight defending the absence of Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal from recently announced plans to revive the former ArcelorMittal steel plant at Point Lisas. The project involves a planned $750 million U.S. investment with the potential to create up to 1,000 jobs. It also aims to reposition the site as a key source of vanadium, a critical mineral used in aerospace and battery technology. U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Lando was among the senior officials at the event alongside other members of the government. Asked about his whereabouts, Dr. Munilal told CNC3 News he was out of the country and that Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers acted on his behalf. Political analyst Dr. Shane Mohammed acknowledged that ministers cannot be at the forefront of every major engagement. He says, on the contrary, a minister's role is to set policy direction.
The bottom line is, as it pertains to this matter, it has been led by the Prime Minister. So we are not taking away, and I don't believe that we should be taking away from Dr. Munilal's portfolio and calling him anything close to a lame duck. We have to get accustomed to not every minister is going to be in the forefront, and we have to get accustomed to the country being led in a different form.
Meanwhile, political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath says it is for the government, not an analyst, to say whether Dr. Munilal's absence had any impact on the arrangements with the U.S. However, he agrees the minister's absence does not in itself present a problem.
Where Mr. Munilal is out of the country, there was no need for him to rush back to be present.
Meanwhile, the energy minister has not said what business kept him abroad or whether he considered it more pressing than the multi-million-dollar investment announced at Point Lisas.
ExxonMobil says it is encouraged by its early exploration work in Trinidad and Tobago and is hopeful it could lead to a hydrocarbon discovery. During a meeting today with Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, ExxonMobil's TNT operations manager, Dr. Bram Williamson, praised the speed of the approval process for the company's seismic activities. According to the Prime Minister, Williamson said it was the fastest ExxonMobil had secured the approvals and completed the administrative requirements needed to begin seismic work. The company is continuing technical assessments of Trinidad and Tobago's hydrocarbon potential, with Williamson expressing optimism that a discovery could deliver significant economic benefits. Persad-Bissessar welcomed ExxonMobil's confidence in the country and said her government remains focused on attracting foreign investment, creating jobs, and developing new revenue streams. In tonight's Business Watch, TNT is being encouraged to properly assess if AI data centers are a worthy investment in our local resources.
Peter Christopher tells us more.
Economist Marla Dukaran says investment in AI data centers must be assessed in relation to the return of investment to Trinidad and Tobago. Last month, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar announced MOUs had been signed with Ernst & Young and Hummingbird AI concerning the potential development of 2 data centers in this country. Dukaran says while the cheap cost of electricity may be a draw for investors, the government must ensure TNT gets its fair share in return.
Availing of our subsidized energy, really this is a transfer of wealth from the taxpayer, from the Trinidad and Tobago citizens, and from the future generations of citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. And we need to be very careful to make sure that we are reaping the gains of this, meaning things like transfer of knowledge, meaning things like corporate taxes.
The Trinidad-born Barbados-based economist spoke with Business Watch at the Canto Conference in Dominican Republic. Interim Energy Chamber CEO Dr. Priya Maraj says she welcomes the agreement for NGC to acquire a 20% stake in the Mannequin block. Following the Prime Minister's announcement of the deal on Monday, Dr. Maraj says this development bodes well for both TNT and Venezuela.
Bringing this field into production is the kind of collaboration this country needs to keep gas flowing into our LNG and petrochemical plants and to sustain the industrial base at Point Lisas as well. This progress is also a positive step for Venezuela because it offers a practical route to monetize stranded cross-border gas reserves alongside Trinidad and Tobago's processing infrastructure.
And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Peter Christopher, CNC3 Business Watch.
Thank you, Peter. Still to come in the news, just over 24 homes in the central region affected by flooding. Officials blame illegal developments for blocking drains.
Spring tides and agitated seas. What else can we expect when heading offshore? Details right after the break.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversation. What about the connection with you and your team members?
It's top priority for me to have that clear understanding of who my team members are and building connections with them to ensure that they carry out the vision of what we are trying to achieve as a team, realizing opportunities for both the clients and ourselves.
GMMB.
It's banking for real.
Ginger Mint, your trusted and natural wellness. Now with healthier options. KC Ginger Mint with honey and lime. KC Ginger Mint with orange and KC Ginger Mint with lemon. KC Ginger, honey, lemon, lime, and orange. Natural and trusted for generations for soothing sore throats and digestion and boost immunity. Get your new KC Candy Ginger Mint extended range today and breathe naturally.
With Alive Multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
Extra Foods has champion savings. Plenty specials just for you. April parboiled rice, 3 packs for $20. Country House table margarine, 3 sticks for $20. Nature's Hot almond milk, 1 liter, $20. Indomie instant noodles, 7 packs for $20. Bumblebee light tuna, 3 tins for $20. Happy pasta cuts, 4 packs for $20. And so much more. We are the home of plenty for 20 deals, keeping prices affordable in TNT. Nobody beats our prices. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chabonas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Loyalty, kindness, and service are among the qualities UNC stalwart Vashti Suku was remembered for during her funeral today.
The Prime Minister joined Suku's family, friends, and colleagues who gathered at the Shore of Peace in South Oropouche to pay their final respects to the 60-year-old councillor for the Reform Manahambri area. Kamla Prasad Bisesa said Suku's contribution to the UNC and her community should continue to inspire those who knew her.
We say, may all the blessings of the good Lord go with you, Vashti. And you go to a better place, I said before, but you leave a better place because you work so hard in your community, in your family, Do you all agree she has worked so hard to make a better place for everyone?
Suku passed away suddenly on Tuesday. Government ministers Barry Padaras, Khadija Amin and Dr. Rudal Munilal were among those paying tribute.
Prior to the cremation at the Show of Peace, a Hindu service was held at the House of Mourning on Garth Road, Williamsville. The flooding in parts of the Kuva Tabaki Talpara Regional Corporation has been blamed in part on years of illegal development, blocked drains and poor enforcement.
Yesterday, residents and communities had to grapple with floodwaters at their properties and on roads in Claxton Bay, Gasparillo, Marabella, Calcutta in Freeport and Presal. At least 26 homes were affected. Corporation officials say flooding, particularly in the Calcutta area, was due to illegal developments that have also contributed to blocked waterways. Responding to this, Rural Development and Local Government Minister Khadija Amin says some people have knowingly blocked drains and dumped waste, while officials have also failed to enforce the law. She says they are working on clamping down on this, but admit it would not happen overnight.
And over the years, there are numerous public servants who, while no case has been pursued against them, people know them to be involved in corruption because they take bribes and they allow buildings that do not meet the requirements to get approvals. They allow public health, a lot of public health things to go on. They are in cahoots with contractors, they are in cahoots with developers, and that is part of our problem in local government. It is a fact.
However, the minister says that the country is better prepared for flooding than last year, with all 14 corporations now equipped with pumps, generators and other supplies to respond to flooding and establish shelters.
She says work has also intensified to clear watercourses and tributaries, particularly in areas that experienced severe flooding in the past, while acknowledging there is still more work to be done.
It's now time for the weather forecast with Sigoni Mohammed. Sigoni, a lot of dust expected. Tell us how that will impact weather systems.
So when we have things like Saharan dust haze and strong wind shear, it's a limiting factor that really helps to stop these tropical systems from developing. They need a lot of moisture, a lot of precipitation, and with the dust there's an absence of moisture, so it doesn't have the fuel to actually strengthen, and that is what we are seeing right now. So thank God for the dust in the atmosphere for a lot of the islands. Let's take a look at what's happening out there as we tap into our tropical pulse this evening. What we're seeing is that areas of interest that we've been monitoring all week long have now started to see a lot of their potentials or their probabilities really diminishing. From 80%, the leading tropical wave that we've been monitoring is now at about a 50% chance of developing further into a tropical system. And it has a very small window to have this happen. In addition to that, there's a second tropical wave we're monitoring just off the African coast. Similar conditions, a 50% chance of developing in the next 2 to 7 days. And then we have post-tropical cyclone Cristobal, which is making its way over into Europe at this time. It is no longer a tropical storm, it's just a degenerated tropical rainmaker. The thing is that we have so much Saharan dust haze present and strong wind shear coming out from the Caribbean that this is really going to be a tropical roadblock for any of these systems trying to develop in the next few hours into days. And it's not going to be impacting Trinidad and Tobago, at least not directly, but indirectly. Here's what's happening. We could still see some moisture rolling in. All of this on your screen is that dry Saharan air layer. It is already moving well into Trinidad and Tobago, a significant mass of it. Relievers, inhalers on hand, and maybe even a dust mask as you go through the next couple of hours, because the dust is here with us, at least pushing into the weekend before that tropical wave brings in some moisture and maybe some rain shower activity for the island. So until that time, here's what we're working with across the islands. We know the dust haze is there. It is going to be settling across Trinidad and Tobago as it takes over, and that means we're in for some warmer temperatures overnight. Lows dip down to the mid-20s, but we could still see 1 or 2 cloudy pockets and a quick passing shower, but nothing to talk about really. Into tomorrow's forecast, it's steamy temperatures across the general area, lots of sunshine, dust haze mixing in, and conditions are breezy to windy with the possibility of still an odd shower in the forecast and maybe even an isolated thunderstorm if you are in Trinidad. but along hilly areas. Now, what we're seeing is that if this is the kind of condition that's going to take you to the beach, you have to exercise extra caution because offshore winds have been picking up in the lower levels and wave heights have been increasing from 1.5 meters, occasionally getting up to 2 meters, and now a little bit on the rougher side at 2.5 meters in height. For those of you with a marine interest, exercise that extra caution, especially for sea bathers and small craft operators, because spring tide is also in the mix, adding into what's happening here. And what that means is that caution offshore, particularly for all you sandbathers as well. Be careful when you're heading out there, and remember the dust is also going to impact your visibility throughout the day wherever you are.
And particularly during this July-August vacation period.
Yes, it is. It's going to be with us.
All right, thank you so much, Sigoni. Still to come in the news, mother of 14-year-old autistic boy begs for school transfer ahead of the new term in September, saying her pleas for help have fallen on deaf ears.
Your Majesty, what comes after victory?
Growth. History's greatest rulers never stop at the triumph. They build what comes next. Finance your next chapter with First Line Securities, helping Trinidad and Tobago invest for over 2 decades. Invest with us. Go to firstlinesecurities.com to begin investing today.
Some moments change everything. Your family's first memories. Comfort isn't just about temperature, it's about feeling your best. Whether you're celebrating the big win or making unforgettable memories, the moments that matter deserve comfort you can trust. That's why thousands choose McQuay by Daikin. And now, every purchase of a McQuay air conditioner helps make a difference. A portion of the proceeds will be donated to the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society. Visit your nearest Schoolmax or Superco Limited branch or request McQuay from your trusted AC technician.
Love eating spicy food, but soon after, that familiar discomfort begins. Heartburn, acid reflux, and bloating. Introducing Peptica Gel, formulated with aluminum hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, and simethicone to help neutralize excess acid. It's sugar-free with no chalky aftertaste and a pleasant orange flavor. Peptica Gel works fast to relieve heartburn, acid reflux, gas, and bloating, so you can feel comfortable again and get back to enjoying life. Peptica Gel, get the relief you need today. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
While most parents are purchasing back-to-school supplies ahead of the new term next month, a Point Fortin mother is pleading for a transfer for her 14-year-old son who's on the autism spectrum.
The single mother of 2 says her son has been repeatedly targeted by other students and is sometimes forced to seek refuge in the principal's office. She says just before school closed, a student struck him in the back of the head with a chair. She explains that shortly before her son sat the secondary entrance assessment last year, he was diagnosed with autism as well as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and attention deficit disorder. As a result, she says students at the secondary school he attends tease and mock him.
Basically, what the principal was saying is, and what the vice principal was saying, basically, just to see how his reaction, and his form teacher, she said the same thing, just to see how to them it's fun, to see how he will work up himself and react to them when they interfere with him, whatever the case may be.
The woman who recently secured a 20-day job as a laborer says the distance to school also takes a toll on her son, triggering panic attacks. Despite her correspondence and visits to the Ministry of Education and the school, she says she has received no favorable response and she's now pleading for the minister's intervention.
I really urging basically to get a transfer because it's very urgent and critical at the moment because he fear somebody. Yeah, we're looking over his shoulder, basically in school, to see if them train anybody gonna attack him or hit him. And then most of the time, he's being in the principal office, basically. They come like he's safety when they're looking to attack him or whatever, because he does end up in the office.
When contacted, Acting Education Minister Barry Padarat said he would have to check with the Permanent Secretary as he was unfamiliar with the matter.
United Nations young leader Anturium Lewis was honored at the annual Tobago Youth Awards in Magdalena in Lowlands on Wednesday. Lewis, who recently attended a UN forum on sustainable development, collected awards for excellence in education and youth service, and later received the Youth Leader accolade. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, in his feature address, urged youth to dream beyond Tobago. He added that his assembly will not engage in tokenism and is committed to empowering young people. Secretary for the division, Keegan Denoon, advised the audience to always strive for excellence and beware of complacency.
Andrea, as we're talking about the youth, the young Red Force Divas are ready to put their perfect record on the line, Jassy.
Yeah, they take on the defending champions Barbados in their final group match tomorrow. It's a dress rehearsal between the same two teams who are also set to meet in the final, and we preview that match after the break. The LA Lakers has new ownership. We'll tell you who gets the acquisition after these.
Big moments call for light refreshment. Viva sparkling flavored water. Zero sugar, full flavor.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve it. Big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Rand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
The biggest party in sport is back. Catch every TKR match live and exclusively on CNC3, August 7th through September 20th. You don't want to miss the action. The Republic Bank CPL 2026, only on CNC3. Passion, energy, and cricket live here. Brought to you by
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Farley Augustine, has admonished corporate entities in Trinidad to step up to the plate. Augustine's latest comments are in response to the SSFL's proposal to annex Tobago schools from the competition due to a funding shortfall.
This experience of being able to travel to the next island, get on a maxi, travel to parts of the country you don't know ordinarily, meet people you don't know, you will not meet ordinarily through sports, that is a huge part of the development of our young people.
The SSFL's decision to separate Tobago-based secondary schools from their Trinidad counterparts for the upcoming boys premiership season has not gone down well with many, including Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, who says a lack of funding is no justification.
It costs us more because there are more Trinidad schools at the Premier League. So we have to travel for more away games than we have home games. So it's costing us more, and I don't understand why for the schools that it will cost 1 or 2 trips. They are adamant that they should not come to Tobago when Tobago schools have to make the trip to Trinidad 5 and 6 and more times than that. It really does not make sense. There is no justification for it. And while I'm at it, I think there is a need for corporate Trinidad and Tobago to get involved in sports.
Speaking at the Tobago Youth Awards at the Magdalena Hotel in Lowlands, Tobago on Wednesday, Augustine further supported his statement with information gathered through his own research.
In Jamaica, for the Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Champs, that's athletics. Grace Kennedy as a company, they invested $200 million Jamaican in 2026. That's about 8.5 to 9 million PT dollars in high school sports. I want the media to go and look and see which company in Trinidad and Tobago invests even a quarter of that into sports, into secondary and primary school sports. They don't.
Having already signaled the possibility of legal action against the SSFL membership's 9-6 vote in favor of the move, Augustine confirmed that consideration is being given to an independent Tobago competition that could be broadcast nationally and internationally for the exposure of Tobago's talented youth footballers.
Because at some point, we need not to beg and to just create our own pathway and go that way.
Stefan Nicholas, CNC3 Sport.
Thank you, Stefan. Now, the St. Lucia Kings' home leg of this year's CPL got off to a rocky start as the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots stormed Gros-Islet. SKNP's 5-wicket win also gets them their first points of the new season. Samaki Felician has the highlights.
Looking for 2 wins in 2, St. Lucia Kings were on home turf in Gros-Islet and batted first against a St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots team looking to bounce back from an opening defeat. SKNP made themselves at home, getting Kings Game 1 hero Andres House out for just 4. But after that, the Kings appeared set for a big total. Young Windies talent Joel Andrew formed an 82-run partnership with Trinbagonian Camille Puran.
She's playing beautifully. He's got a lot of confidence. And
keen to start under bright lights, Puran's breezy half-century took him 28 balls to construct. Andrew reached the landmark from 39 balls and then looked to accelerate. But that's when the Patriots struck back. The experienced Jason Holder removed Charith Asalanka for 14 and then cleaned up Andrew for a top score of 58. Holder and Sorab Netravalka shared 6 wickets equally, restricting the Kings to 155 for 8 from 20 overs. In defense of that, St. Lucia's Matthew Ford removed Johnson Charles for 16. Carl Mayers then provided a quick 32 from just 16 balls, but his dismissal left the Patriots with 2 wickets down, still inside the power play. But Andre Fletcher dug in. The veteran smashed his way to an unbeaten 48 from 41 balls.
Oh, the sound alone, a golf swing.
As the supporting cast tried to out-hit the Spiceman, he lost a few partners along the way, including Holder for 10, but with the run rate under control, the Patriots remained in a favorable position, reaching 156 for 5 with 14 balls to spare. Fletcher was player of the match. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sport.
Now, St. Lucia's Camille Puran delivers the shot of the day, but watch carefully because it might feel like deja vu. Flicking them off the hips. Now, Matthew Ford comes in clutch to snag the CPL catch of the day.
Sliced. Man in the deep. Watch the rope. Watch the rope. Does he do well? I think he does just about enough. Matthew Ford.
Trinidad and Tobago's women's under-19 cricket camp is confident ahead of its final 2 matches of the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars under-19 tournament in Antigua. On Friday at Coolidge Ground, TNT will play Barbados in the final round-robin match before the 2 teams meet again in the tournament final on Saturday. After 4 rounds of matches, the young Red Force Divas are still unbeaten. Barbados is also unbeaten, but with 1 match ending in a no result. Friday's clash could be dominated by Trinidad and Tobago skipper Samara Ramnath, who has claimed a tournament-leading 15 wickets this far, including a hat-trick against the Windward Islands on Tuesday. Barbados' star batter Ebony Brathwaite leads the tournament in runs scored, 152, including a history-making 135 against the Leewards. The match bowls off at 2 p.m. Barataria Netters and Cardinals were among the winners on the opening day of the All Sectors Netball League's Under-16 Youth Development Program. Again, here's Samaki Felician.
The court's All Sectors Netball League's Under-16 Youth Development Program is back for another run at the Eastern Regional Sporting Arena, Tacarigua. Barataria Netters started with purpose in their first round-robin game against Police Netball Youth Club, moving the ball well and hitting their shots throughout. By contrast, Police struggled around the shooting circle, limited to 1 goal in the first half. Tanisha Dan was their top performer with 5 goals out of their eventual 7, but Barataria maintained control. Their goal shooter Alea Dow converted 18 of her 31 attempts as the Netters built their lead quarter by quarter, eventually wrapping up a 21-7 win. Later, Bermudas United found themselves up against the determined Cardinals. Cardinals found their rhythm early through Mariah Navarro, who sank 9 of 13 attempts, while Lorraine Rock added 7. Michaela Leslie led the way for Bermudas with 5 goals from 12 attempts. But the Cardinals' attack would continue to dominate as the match went on, allowing them to pull away and claim a 23-7 victory. In the day's third game, Arima United defeated Seoul City 20-9. Tiana Huggins top scored for United with 17 goals from 35 attempts. The development program continues at the Tacarigua Indoor Arena every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday until August 21st. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sport.
All right, now for a look at what's featured internationally.
Josh Kushner and former Disney CEO Bob Iger are now the new owners of the Los Angeles Lakers, following a record-breaking acquisition worth roughly $12 billion. The purchase makes it the largest sports deal in American history, as Kushner's Thrive Capital expands its footprint into one of the NBA's most iconic franchises. Kushner's name has also been linked to a recent FIFA controversy. His firm was reportedly set to be the lead investor in FIFA's abandoned plan, which faced major backlash and was eventually scrapped. Which leads us to this. The Football Association of Ireland has withdrawn support for FIFA President Gianni Infantino and is now backing UEFA's position. The FAI says recent events have raised serious concerns over governance, transparency, and a lack of meaningful consultation. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sport.
And it is back to Grossillet for tonight's Sport High. Stumped for ways to slow down St. Lucia's Camille Puran, SKN Patriots were simply grateful for Wanindu Hasaranga's effort in the deep.
And it was a direct hit. Is this out?
No one even realized that the Sri Lankan had effected a direct hit run-out. Finding Puran short of ground with a rocket arm from the ropes, Hasaranga gets tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
Skillful throw there.
I'd be so upset if I was that batsman.
All right, thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
The moment my children came into my life, I do everything I can for them to live healthy, enjoyable lives. Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies. They come in delicious fruit flavors and contain natural plant-based pectin. This means that if I'm looking for an alternative to animal-based gelatin for personal reasons, they are the best choice for my little ones. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way for your children because they deserve it.
Hit the heat with 6. Cold, pure refreshment every over.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
And now for a look at tonight's regional roundup.
2 major regional legal bodies are calling for an immediate investigation after private emails between judges at the Caribbean Court of Justice were exposed. In a joint statement, the OECS and Commonwealth Caribbean Bar Associations called the League of Private Judicial Correspondents disturbing, demanding an urgent probe to determine if it was a hack or an internal leak. They are urging the Regional Legal Services Commission to step in, audit court security systems, and address growing media reports surrounding internal court friction. The Dominican Republic has ordered 9 Cuban embassy officials and their families to leave the country. A total of 21 persons, including diplomats, spouses, and children, have been given until Sunday to depart Dominican territory. Santo Domingo has yet to release an official reason for the expulsion, but the move comes amid a sharp shift under their president, who recently labeled Cuba a non-democratic state. The decision adds to Havana's growing regional isolation, following similar diplomatic expulsions and closures by Ecuador, Costa Rica, and Colombia earlier this year. Angelo Chetadaya, CNC3 News.
Thank you, Angelo. Stay with us. More news when we come back.
Two teams, one explosive showdown on the best television station. The Tobago Night Riders face the Jamaica Kingsmen this Saturday, August 15th, in another massive Republic Bar CPL T20 clash. Join us from 7:30 p.m. for the live pre-show. Then catch every boundary, wicket, and big moments live and exclusive on CNC3 and CNC3Live.com from 8 p.m. Watch the Tobago Night Riders versus Jamaica Kingsmen only on CNC3 and CNC3Live.com. Cricket lives here.
It's how we play. How we play. Yeah, how you play.
Oma Sonilal, a mother of 2 and spa owner, juggles motherhood, family life, and running her small business.
This holiday, she decided to share her skills with young girls so they too can feel empowered. The children enjoyed experimenting with bright nail colors and gel-X nails.
Radhika De Silva and Ivan Tulsi visited the spa on Monday for this story.
For some young girls, the holidays are all about having fun. But at Exotic Nails and Day Spa in Debi, these girls were also learning how to take care of their nails. Spa owner Oma Sonilal provided hands-on experience with nail care, cuticle care, polishing, and gel nails. But it wasn't all about beauty.
This helps them feel empowered and they feel more confident in being themselves, and it helps them grow.
She says a fun hobby could one day become an extra source of income.
It would help them in the future too. It's a skill, that's something that you could fall back on.
The participants were excited to share their experiences.
When you grow up, you know how to do your nails. You don't have to pay someone to do them, and you could also have it as a side job.
It helps you with your hygiene, and later on in life, you could do your nails. You could teach your children to do their own nails, and I find it's very important that you have a little hobby.
Oma's daughter, Govana Sonilal, also joined in the fun.
I'm helping my mom teach the girls about their nails, and it's a nice experience. When she works, she lets me help her.
Oma hopes the girls leave not just with a new skill, but with the confidence to believe in themselves, knowing they can achieve anything. Radhika De Silva, CNC3 News.
I wonder what kind of nails Ivan got.
Maybe see-through nails.
Well, ahead of Independence Day, we ventured across the country asking citizens, what does Trinidad and Tobago mean to you?
Every night we'll bring you one patriotic response. Here's what one person had to say.
Well, the short answer is Trinidad and Tobago means the world to me. That's the short answer, which is everything. But this is my home. This is my respite. This is the place where I feel connected to this whole universe. When I travel, I can't stay away long. Sometimes I go away for 2 weeks. in 3 days I'm ready to come back home, because this is where the rhythm of who I am exists. It exists in the Wali, it exists in Emancipation, it exists in Eid, it exists in Christmas. This is the place where I got forgiveness for things that I did in my life too, you know. So this is not just a place. And saying my home is saying too little bit of what Trinidad and Tobago is to me. But Trinidad and Tobago is the world to me.
Well said, Mr. Fabian.
Yeah.
I think it's one of our best responses yet. Well, it's now time for our photo of the week, a moment that reminds us that sometimes beauty can be found in the smallest of places. And in this photo, beauty meets the bee. Here we see a honeybee hard at work, busy gathering tomorrow's sweetness as it pauses to sip nectar from a beautiful wildflower in Barrackpore. And that perfect moment was captured by our Guardian photographer, Rishi Raghunath, who clearly had impeccable timing and a keen eye for beauty. It's a simple scene, but one that tells a beautiful story about nature, life, and the little moments happening all around us.
Rishi does not miss.
He does not. All right, well, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news here this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maria Rambali.
I'm Akash Samar.
I am Jassi Marik.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Have a good night.